I am still buzzing from that win against Arsenal. The goals, the momentum swings, the late winner, the thunderbastard in off the bar from Dorgu, everything and more. That's what that game had. Carrick has now beaten Guardiola and Arteta in his first 2 games as United head coach. And I'm going to try my absolute best to run you through all the key takeaways from that incredible result at the Emirates. The first time they've lost there all season. Let's run that back. I hope every single one of you is walking into the office today, putting out the Cunha dance, walking in like Vince McMahon, because it feels glorious. This is what Mondays should feel like, and we've had 2 back-to-back. I'm going to run through everything from that game. I'm going to talk about, I would say, the 5 key takeaways, because there's lots to speak about. And if this doesn't deserve a like on the video before we start, I don't know. You probably won't like on the video all season. Should we get into it? Let's do it. And let's speak about Michael Carrick first, because you have to speak about Carrick first. Like, take a bow, lad. Take a bow. Not only can you do that against City, you can follow it up against Arsenal. And I will repeat this. An Arsenal team that hadn't lost at the Emirates this season, that hadn't conceded 3 goals in 121 consecutive games, that 24 times this season had been in the lead and 24 times this season had won the game until they played Manchester United. The difference that he has got between these players in such a short space of time is a testament to how good he is in the immediate term as a coach, getting the ideas across straight away and the simplified nature of them. And it's the intent of them. It really is. I'm going to do a separate video on this because I think there's so much conversation about United DNA, this and that, but that's something that we've seen massively in these first 2 games. Every single decision from Michael Carrick has had the intent of what we all feel a Manchester United head coach should have and what a Manchester United team should represent. All right? There's going to be big challenges coming up next. Different challenges. You're not going to get a bigger challenge, really, than playing City and Arsenal in your first 2 games. But what's going to happen when we might have more than 50% of the ball against Fulham at Old Trafford? Or what's going to happen against Spurs? Well, hopefully we beat Frank and he gets sacked. Different challenges coming along for him. But in these first couple of games, it's been spectacular. I think there's going to be discourse, of course there is, when there's going to be discourse around whether or not he's the right choice or a choice, even that, to become United's new head coach. I said before he came in that we can't get swept up in emotions. But if he goes on to win every bloody game, yeah, I'm changing my tune. Now, Roy Keane might not be. I think he's just preconceived. He's already got his logic and his answer in his head. But for Carrick, you've completely exceeded expectation in these first 2 games, more than even the most optimistic United fan could have done. Well done to you. And I would say the same thing about Patrick Dorgu. My word. Or should I say, Ballon Dorgu. Or should I say, Dorgu best. What are the names you got? Get it in the chat. Because speak about intent, and I'll speak about platforming players as well. Carrick's, it's almost simplified the tactics, and I mean that in a really good way. Players know their roles. Not really too controversial. Where am I supposed to be going? You going up now? I've got that. Straight 4-4-2 out of possession. Compact lines. Wingers drop deep. But Dorgu with that hit. With that goal. It was just, I can't choose. What was your favourite? If you had to choose one, I know it's like choosing your favourite kid. The Mbeumo goal against City or the Dorgu goal against Arsenal. But being honest, I'm probably going Dorgu's goal against Arsenal. Yeah, I think I am. I absolutely love those types of goals. Good news is, sounds like he left the pitch with cramp. But for Dorgu himself, after the season of up and down, the 11 months that he's had up and down at Manchester United, I did a video last week dedicated to complimenting his development I've seen in these last 5-6 games and the technical qualities that we've seen. But he's gone far beyond that with that goal against Arsenal. That is a once-in-a-lifetime hit from him. And a goal. And the intricate play with Bruno in the build-up too. Incredible from him. But on top of that, and I'm so happy to be able to say this, I can talk about Mbeumo and Cunha delivering for United on the biggest stages in the biggest occasions. And Mbeumo, with that moment, Zubimendi made the mistake. Yeah, but we forced that mistake. What happens? We took advantage of it. We were clinical. And Mbeumo rounded Raya, slipped it between, took the moment. And it's those moments in games like that. You're not going to get 20, 30 shots against Arsenal at the Emirates. You're just not. You're not even going to have that many half chances, really. He took it. Composed, calm, and cool. Anfield he scored. City at Old Trafford he scored. And now Arsenal at the Emirates. Big game player turning up on the big occasion, as did Cunha. And as happy as I was for Mbeumo to get that goal, I was 10 times happier for Cunha to get that winner. Because he's definitely somebody who's been judging his own start at Manchester United, I would say quite harshly, because I don't think he feels like he's impacted the games enough directly with goals and match-winning moments. But he got that, and it was a wonderful goal. The fucking biggest. His words, not mine. I might have to shove that on a poster. It was so good. He got to celebrate that in front of the away end, and I think for him, he'll probably feel like he's arrived as a Manchester United player now. More so than, I think he played great against Brighton at Old Trafford, for example. I was there for that one. But that there, the winner in a game against Arsenal at the Emirates, where they haven't lost there all season, and in an up and down game where United are 1-0 down, 1-1, then 2-1 up, then 2-2, conceded twice. And then to get that winner 2.5 minutes after United conceded the equaliser, it's a huge moment for him. And I think that is a special moment for a special player. United's big money Premier League signings delivering. That's what spending the premium can get you. And in the opposite sense to spending the premium, Senny Lamont, mate, deserves huge praise. The opposite, we went away from Martinez. Ineos got this bang on, man. He has been fantastic since he came in to replace Onana. And I knew that he was going to have a good game, and he had a good game. And Arsenal were doing what Arsenal do. Crowd the box. It's not cheap tactics. It's a very effective tactic. But it's a bit crap for a goalkeeper because you're surrounded by like 9-10 players trying to jump up and get a ball. He didn't do the best, I suppose, on the equaliser for Arsenal. But when you've got that many players in front of you, it's so difficult for a goalkeeper. 2 minutes later, he's there punching a ball out. He made plenty of saves, plenty of claims. And in a game where we needed our goalkeeper, he stood up. Well done to him. I think that was one of his best performances in the United shirt, and we wouldn't have won without him between the sticks. But just overall, that really did feel like United, didn't it? It felt like peak United. Whether it was, look, the first 25 minutes was tough, but we sort of dug in. Sometimes you got to do that away from home against the top team in the league. Sometimes you do that away from home in European competition, where Fergie did it all the time with 4-5-1s. But we soaked up the pressure. Then we started playing out. They got a deflected goal. Did our heads drop? No, they didn't. We got the equaliser. Came out in the second half. Firing. Got that goal. We deserved to be leading that entire second half. And, of course, they snuck an equaliser. You think, oh, that's it, game done. But no, Cunha turned up. Bang! A last-minute winner. United not down and out. Intent from Carrick. Intent from every player. Intent with the subs. City and Arsenal now, back-to-back. Fulham, it's going to be another test. But to say that Carrick has exceeded expectations in his first 2 games really is putting it mildly. It's been spectacular. And it's all down to him and his coaching staff, and for the players for responding in the way that they have. That was glorious at the Emirates. First time in 8 years we've won there in the league.